Hello. Uh, I only have my cell phone. I didn't bring my camera here with me to France. I'm in Dinan, Brittany, France. I thought I'd try to do a beer review with a couple of candles and my cell phone. So I got to talk kind of hush. Uh, Somebody, lives below me in this building, and I just want to keep it down. It's late at night. All right, what I have here is a beer brewed in western Brittany, almost towards the end of the little peninsula, uh, by Coreff Brewery, Brasserie, really, French for brewery, but they use a lot of Breton language around here. It's not French. Because I asked a French person what some of these words meant, and they said they didn't know. It's not French, it's Breton. So what I have here is Excali-biere, X, kind of clever play on words. It says Excala in big golden letters. Excala, then beer. So like Excalibur, King Arthur, because they have King Arthur lore in Brittany. Supposedly they claim the King Arthur legend originated in Brittany, not far from where I'm sitting. So Excalibur, his sword, Excali-biere, beer, B-E-I-R-E, Excali-biere. And this beer is, the style is an Irish red beer, from what I've read. And it says blonde and copper, in French on the label. And this is brewed in a town called Coreff, Plougar. I can't even pronounce it. Look up Coreff Brewing. I think it's brewed in a town pronounced Coreff Plougar. I'll tell you what I think of it. I'll tell you right now, first off, I'm not a huge fan of most of the beers I've had in France. They seem to like their beers sweet. Not bitter at all, but it's malty and sweet. This beer weighs in at 6.2% alcohol, and this is a big bottle. Put my glasses on to read it. "75 centiliters. Alcohol 6.4%. So let's try this Breton beer, or I'll try it and I'll tell you what I think of it. I'm not expecting to be. I think it's just their beer style. It's not that the beer's bad. It's just that I'm not crazy about their beer style, which is, as I said, sweet almost. But then again, one of their main beer drinks in Brittany, Breton beer Breton is cider. So cider's their main drink here, and they like their beers a little sweet, as I've found. Let's see what this is all about. Now I paid for this big bottle of beer. I paid roughly $6 for it, US. It smells malty. I don't smell any hops. Kind of fruity. Yours truly. I brought my Simon Pierce beer mugs here, and they were broke. So I lost my two Simon Pierce beer mugs. They broke in traveling here, and that was a loss. They're going to be about $60 each to replace, if I can replace them. So, looking around this town, Dinan, which is a pretty good sized town, for a beer glass to do beer reviews in. All I can find are wine glasses and other glasses, no beer glasses. Well, I finally found one today, and it's kind of touristy. It's got this Brittany thing, and this thing wasn't cheap. It's like $11 for this Brittany, Britannia, with their sign. It's kind of a Celtic sign for the Trinity. All right. So let's see what we got here. It's supposed to be blonde copper, couvert, for copper, blonde couvert, blonde copper, it says on the label. And there it is. It is indeed a blondish, coppery blonde, strawberry blonde, I guess you could call it. Looking at it through the candlelight. Looks pretty good. Got a nice head on it. Put a little more in there. Excali-biere. Let's see if it measures up to Excalibur, the sword. Got a decent head on it. Oh, no, not bad. Not as sweet as I thought it would be. It's, I taste the malt. It's malty, but it has a little bit of a hops finish, so it's not as bad as I thought it would be. Not bad, actually. Medium mouthfeel. Not too heavy, not light, but medium mouthfeel, weight, kind of fizzy. They say on their website that they put a lot of malt and a lot of hops in this. This is not a bad beer. I've read a few reviews on this by British people. And their British people are really harsh critics. I don't know if you know this, but they are very harsh critics of everything. And they said if they gave it kind of mediocre grades. One person said, it's not Excalibur the sword, it's more like Excalibur the pocket knife. I disagree. I think it's fairly good so far. I kind of like this, honestly. It's for an Irish red ale. Celtic beer. You wouldn't expect to find Celtic heritage. You think of Ireland, Scotland, maybe Wales, but you don't know. But in Brittany, France, Brittany, where I'm at, they're fiercely proud of their Celtic heritage here, because the people that came in and settled this a long time ago were from Britain, the west coast of Scotland, Scottish, Welsh, some Irish came in here and settled after the Romans left around the 5th century. So this actually has a Celtic history, and they're very proud of it. In some places, fiercely proud of it. They fought a war right here where I'm sitting in Dinan, was part of that, to try to win their independence from Maine, France. They actually fought a war in the 15th century and they lost. They're part of France. But there's a lot of battles right around where I'm at in that regard. So you got this, that's kind of a Breton Celtic sign, which would be a play on probably the shamrock, or the clover, or the 3-leaf shamrock. This is a Breton sign for it. But this beer, it's not bad. very drinkable. I find it's got about the right amount of carbonation, a little bit of lace, not a lot of lace, but it has some. A little sweet in the front, and it has a malty taste, but it's got enough hops in it to balance that nicely. Oh, that's really pretty good, honestly. I'll tell you a funny something about me. I'm trying real hard to learn French. I have to. I'm going to be here for 3 more weeks. I've been here a while. Alone, and I get my au revoir and bonjour backwards. And bonjour is jour day, good day, hello. See, that's where it messes me up, because bonjour is a greeting. Bonjour means hello, but literally it means like good day. But in English, we say good day if we say it at all when we're departing. Good day, have a good day. So it screws me up. And twice today and yesterday as well, a number of times, because I get out of this place and I go interact with the locals. I've greeted people with a au revoir, which is goodbye. Goodbye. So I basically walk up to somebody when I'm saying hello. I'm like, goodbye. And they just look at me, they're like, right. Or I walk into a shop where I should say bonjour, and I say, I walk in, au revoir. You should see the look on their faces. They're like, bonjour. Then they figure out, oh, he's American. I had to place in a bookstore. I'm like, I walk in, I'm like, au revoir. And they're like, I mean, bonjour. And I put my arms out, bonjour. And I had the place laughing. You know, if you're not fluent in French and you come to France, you better have a thick hide and a good sense of humor, because they're going to have a laugh on you when you screw up. Some will, they're not. Just roll with it. That's all. Stupid American. I don't know, whatever. Yeah. You better have a good sense of humor and a thick hide, unless you're really fluent in French. And get your bonjour and au revoirs right. And I haven't done that. And I brought this from home, and the candles from home. And I brought my beer mugs from home, and they broke. I did not bring my camera, so I'm doing this on my cell phone in my apartment. So far, I've had a good time. I've paid tribute to a few people, just a few of my loved ones that died in recent times, and they've got some beautiful old churches here. The Basilica Saint-Saviour, which is a 1,000-year-old cathedral, not far from where I'm at, and I thought a couple of my loved ones would really like that place, and lit a candle to them in their memory with a picture and some prayers. And other than that, just kind of immersing myself in the French Breton French culture. Breton French. I mean, I started out in Paris, and it's a big city, as you know. And I am a small town guy. So I really couldn't wait to get out of Paris. And it's more expensive, twice as expensive. right where I'm at is, for me, perfect. It's not a small town, Dinan, Dinan, but it's really kind of a small, really old Breton city. With a lot of history. And I really like it. It's actually cheaper here than it is where I live in upstate New York. And beer's cheaper here too, as a rule. Speaking of beer, oops. This one's pretty good. This one's pretty good. I like the color. The color's good to my liking. It's pretty well balanced. Trying to adjust these candles. Lighting. I miss my camera. I gotta make do with what I got. It's got a good, little malty, fruity smell to it. Medium mouthfeel. You see the color. It is definitely a pretty good orange color, as you can see. Pretty, like they say on the label, blonde cube. What is it? I don't speak French fluent. It translates to blonde copper blonde. Well balanced between the malt and the hops. 6.4% alcohol, so it's not a lightweight, but it's not heavyweight. I think it's a pretty good example of an Irish red ale, honestly. Like I said, the reviews I read on this were few. It's British people in the Guernsey Islands, which are off the coast of France, but they belong to England. And everything I've read from those people are kind of, I might head out there just out of curiosity. I think I'm going to take a boat out there and check them out. Those people seem kind of ate up. All the reviews I've read from those British people in Guernsey, kind of aggressive. I think they're a little rough on this beer. I think it's pretty good. The brewery, I don't think it's an old brewery. This is definitely one of the better beers I've had here that are brewed in Brittany. Definitely. Pleasantly surprised. For those of you that follow my channel, I've been here about 4 days now in this spot. More like 5. I don't know. I've had some weird things happen here. This old building, this actually house I'm living in was hit in World War II by American artillery, unfortunately, and it knocked down most of the house, but they rebuilt it. So there's probably been a house standing where I'm sitting, probably for at least 1,000 years. Knowing the history of this street, I'm on Rue de Gersoal. And Gersoal, which is the name of the street I'm on, Rue de Gersoal. The French people I've talked to, they said it's not a French word, Gersoal. They think it's a very old Breton word, possibly meaning high street, which would add up. It's a very steep road, stone road coming up from the river runs. It's a pretty cool place if you ever get the inclination and desire, if you can get out here. It's not easy to get to this town, Dinan, D-I-N-A-N. But it's definitely, in my estimate, if you like antiquities and like medieval European stuff, this is the place to be. Or Celtic, French Celtic, Breton stuff. They're wrong, man. This is a good beer. It's a very good beer. Look at the lacing on it. This very good beer. Oh. Pleasant surprise. Well, I'm going to finish this and call it a night. Coreff, Excali-biere. I don't know if you can read it once more time. The label's kind of odd. This is pretty good beer. I think I'll do a review of it online. When those Brits shot it down, giving it about a 3.8 out of 5 or 3.5 out of 5. I would give this beer a 4.3 out of 5. There's a lot right with this beer and nothing wrong with it. There's a few things that could be stronger. I would say I would prefer a little more orangeness to it, but maybe that's not what they're shooting for. A little more of the caramel malt I would put in it, possibly a dash of wheat or rye malt just to liven up the head a bit, but maybe hops. I'd put in aroma hops in. I'd dry hop it to give it a little bit of more smell. I smell the malt and some hops. This is a good beer. To give this a 4.3 out of 5 is pretty good. It's not perfect, but it's definitely a worthy beer. Definitely. Excali-biere from Coreff Brewing. Out of Coreff, I don't know, whatever. I'll write it down in the description. You can look it up and you can struggle with the pronunciation. And I'm told by somebody that speaks French fluent as a native speaker that a lot of it's Breton. They're not even sure how to pronounce some of the stuff. So they had to take a shot at it. Oh, this is not bad.